Hello my beautiful hammerheads and welcome to the Black Library Awards of 2022. So Black Library releases are done for this year. Obviously I can only give an award to the books which I've read. Short stories and audio dramas are not counted in this one. Also, releases of old books aren't in here. So audiobooks like The Priest of Mars, Uriel Ventress series and so on are not counted in this one. Because, well, also obviously they were released a few years back. So the categories are of course 40k, Horus Heresy and Age of Sigmar. Every category has one book as the top tier in the category, and at the end I will have one or two honorable mentions for each category. So let's start with the easiest one. It's Horus Heresy and it's Echoes of Eternity. Well, I guess I don't have to say anything about this book. It is just pure amazingness. It has everything I wanted from a Siege of Terror book and everything which made me want to read more of the Siege of Terror during the Horus Heresy. With amazing action, heart-wrenching moments, info dumps en masse, and a cliffhanger which obviously we know what happens in the story but still has me on the edge of my seat. It's beautiful. This is one of the prime examples why Mr. Aaron Dembski-Bowden is such a great author. Because usually I don't like world eaters or specifically Khorne as enemy. However, I felt for Angron. I like his backstory, but I don't like how Khorne berserkers or Khorne demons are portrayed in the Black Library, because usually they're just lunatics and incoherent and it's unbridled rage and they have to keep it in. I don't like this. However, the fight scenes between Angron and Sanguinius and everything with Angron and Sanguinius are just perfect. It's so beautiful. Nothing else to say for this one. Let's go to 40k. So this one was really hard for me. However, I give this to Throne of Light by Guy Haley of the Dawn of Fire series. It had many amazing moments. It steps forward the story of the Indomitus Crusade. We're 5 years into the crusade in this book. We have conflicts between, again, the word bearers with Cor Farron, who had a not so grand role as I've expected. However, still a good role. We learned that the Hand of Abaddon is not tenebrous, and so many good moments in there. And this book made me fall in love with the historiator Fabian Gelfrain, because he has such a loving relationship with the unnumbered son of Dawn, Lucerne. And also he's such a funny and relatable character. So when he was in the fight, I really feared for him. So yeah, this is my pick for 40k. Going on to AOS. So this one also was really hard for me. However, I have to give this to the last book which was released this year, Hammers of Sigmar First Forged. It had really strong contenders. However, this is, as I've said in my review for it, the Marvel movie of Age of Sigmar novels. We have so many characters which we know and love of the Hammers of Sigmar. We have Bastion Cathalos, Aventhy's Firestrike, we have Venda's freaking Hammerhand is back, then we have Corgus Cool is also there. And so much is in this book. And again, Richard Strachan just made me love the characters. There is no going back that I will forget this book in the near future. This one is just awesome. The fighting scenes, and actually, as much as I don't like fight scenes, these three books, all of them, had really intense and very good fight scenes. So there is no overall number one for me because I see every category as its own. But for the honorable mentions, so honorable mentions for Horus Heresy is pretty easy. It's nothing because I haven't read anything Horus Heresy, which was released this year. Yeah, Echoes of Eternity was the only real novel I've read. Everything else was just short stories. Yeah, so, but 40k, there is a little bit more. First of all, it's Day of Ascension. It's such a good book by Adrian Tchaikovsky about the Gene Stealers against AdMech. So good. It really made me feel for the Gene Stealers, in which I really rooted for the Gene Stealers. And I don't like Gene Stealers. They're vile Xenos, but I felt for them. Their hurt was real. Then the other honorable mention goes to Triumph of St. Catherine by Danny Ware. This was close to be my number one. It is such a good book. It is so good. However, Throne of Light was for me just because it's in the series, it evolves the story of 40k. And after the Horus Heresy's ending, we have the Dawn of Fire series, so I'm more invested into the Dawn of Fire series. Probably until we get the Scouring series, but this is something else for the future. But Triumph of St. Catherine is such a beautiful masterpiece, because Danny Ware has a background in the military. She was a sergeant. She has a background in a choir, because she was in church. And she is basically a sister of battle. She is, for me, Danny Ware is a canoness. If she gives me an order, I will do it. And it just shows. This is such a good book. If you have any interest in Sisters of Battle, this is the novel. The last two, which I will not really talk about because I have reviews of them, and they're also really good, is Awakenings and Kazakin. But with Throne of Light, Triumph of St. Catherine, and Day of Ascension, these three books just filled the hole in my brain which I want from 40k. And before I hear anything, I haven't read Dark City yet. As much as I enjoy the stories of Chris Raid and the Walls of Terror and the Watchers of the Throne series, because they are interconnected, I'm just finishing the second book of the Watchers of the Throne series, so I haven't read Dark City yet. So, Age of Sigmar. Age of Sigmar is so hard. It had so many good books, of many I still think about. We have Gothgul Hollow and Briardark, 2 books in a 4-part series. It is so good. It brought us back Genevieve, probably brings back her nemesis. We aren't there yet, but it is my prophecy that we will go in this direction. We had Godsbane, such a good book. If you want to know how faith and godhood works in the realms of Age of Sigmar, this is the book. It is fantastic, by Dale Lucas. We have Vulture Lord, again by Richard Strachan. Oziak Bone Reapers against Cities of Sigmar. It is beautiful. And we have Hollow King and Grombrindal. There is so much. As I've said, Age of Sigmar was the hardest part for me to choose the number one from. But with such high profile characters of the Age of Sigmar and the Stormcast Eternals characters, it just had to go to Hammers of Sigmar First Forged. So yeah, these are my top 3 novels of the Black Library 2022. Obviously, I've read more than I've had on this list, but some of the books I've read were just re-releases. So yeah, what are your favorite novels in the categories 40k, Horus Heresy and Age of Sigmar? Please leave it in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, do all the YouTube stuff, because hitting buttons is fun. If you want to support the channel and you don't know what to say, just write Black Library in the comments. Have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic. Stay hydrated. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!